Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Atlantis and the start of year 2 of the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. And we have a lot of news today. I'm Chris Pica, the Director of Communications for the Bowl. We thank you for coming out today, being a part of this. We had a Bowl Summit this morning with several of our local Bahamian partners, which went very well. And what we're here today to do is to talk a little bit about the involvement of ESPN as the new owner of the game, and the impact on the bowl on the Bahamas. A little bit of a look back at a tremendous 2014 game, which had an exciting ending, and a look forward to what we believe will be an even better event in 2015. At this time, to start us off, I'd like to introduce Pete Durzis, who's the Senior Vice President of ESPN Events. Pete.
Thank you, Chris. It's a special day for us, and on behalf of my colleagues at ESPN, we're very pleased to announce the acquisition of the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. It's an exciting time to add this incredible event to our portfolio of events that we do throughout the country. It's a special time to say a couple of quick thank yous. One is certainly to Conference USA for the financial underpinning that they did to establish the game and make it a reality in that first year. And what an amazing first year it truly was. I'd also like to take a moment and thank a young woman, Lee Miller, who's been actively involved in the development of sports and sports tourism in the Bahamas, and she's been a great asset to our initiatives here. Our goal is very simple at ESPN. We want to build a long-term, sustainable business for this bowl game. And there we go, frog alert. But getting back to it, we want to build a long-term sustainable business, one that gives back to this community, gives back to the local community, one that provides a great experience for the student athletes coming to your country to experience it, one that highlights the culture of the Bahamian people in our telecast. These are incredibly important points that we will have factored into all the decisions we make around the development of the bowl game. This is the only bowl game played outside the United States, and it's an incredible opportunity for those student athletes to come and experience it. So from our standpoint, to be able to host an event in a world-class destination such as the Bahamas, to host the teams at a world-class resort such as Atlantis, and to Paul Burke and your team, we greatly appreciate the hospitality and the professionalism in the hosting that you have done. With a special thanks to groups that have been with us since day one, certainly the tourism and the sports ministries and their incredible support. So when you put all of those together, what you have is a unique and exciting opportunity to build something that's going to have a great, long-lasting sporting scene activity for the people of the Bahamas and for those that come and spend their money with you. So we're excited about it. We're pleased to be a part of this announcement today, and we look forward to many years to come. Thank you, Chris.
Next, to talk about a little bit of last year, but also the changeover from Bahamas Bowl LLC to ESPN Events. Britton Banowski, the Commissioner of Conference USA, who served as our bowl president last year, to tell us a little bit about the transition from last year to this year and looking forward with ESPN.
Okay, thank you, Chris. As I shared earlier in the day, we had an idea of what to expect when we decided to launch a bowl game here in the Bahamas, but we really didn't fully know what to expect. And I got to tell you, after year one, our expectations were exceeded on every level. We had a first-class facility. We had the support of the Ministry of Tourism. We had a first-class venue and a hotel for our teams to stay in and enjoy their week. We had a wonderful sponsor in Popeyes, and we had support from the community, multiple other groups in the community, including Coke and some other folks. We were able to do something special with some of the nonprofits in the area, which warmed our hearts and made us feel great. But coming on the backside of what was a remarkable launch of a bowl game and a remarkable football game that ended with a historic, iconic play that will go down in the history of college football bowl games. It occurred to us that in order for the game to go to the next level and to have the ability to really transcend where we are right now and take a bigger stage, we needed to partner with the best in the business. And so the Bahamas Bowl LLC, which was really just a subsidiary of Conference USA, got Pete Durzis on the phone and said, Pete, you want to do the game in the Bahamas? He said, I don't know, Brett. I said, well, you want to do the game, Pete? Yeah, let's go down and check it out. And so we had a great week down here and checked it out. And sure enough, we were able to transition the game to ESPN. That is a Disney subsidiary and one of the largest, obviously largest sports media companies in the world. He does 30 of these types of events a year, and no one does it better. So I'm delighted, Pete, to be able to hand it off to you. As I shared earlier today, I'm going to get to spend more time on the beach next year because I'll come with my team, but won't have to be at the 7 a.m. meetings over by Bill Coderon's office. So I'm pleased about that. But all in all, it was great, and the local support has been tremendous, and sky's the limit for this game going forward.
Thank you, Britton. At this time, we'd like to welcome Hector Munoz, who's the Chief Marketing Officer USA for Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen, who came on board last August as our title sponsor. And we made an announcement yesterday that they are remaining with the Bowl and the Bahamas as the title sponsor of this game in a multi-year agreement. And I think Hector has some really exciting news also about some business initiatives. So Hector, I'll let you take it from here.
Great. Thank you for the introduction, Chris. And good afternoon, everyone. It was less than a year ago that we were all together. I think it was this room. I'm not certain, but what I am certain is that a lot of the folks that are in this room today were here when we first announced this partnership. I will tell you, little did I know how special the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl would eventually be. I did not even have that level of expectation when we announced it the first time. It was a huge success, obviously for our brand, but obviously for the islands of the Bahamas, for the Atlantis, and a number of other partners. And quite frankly, the event was special for a number of reasons. Obviously, we had the opportunity to see some great football with Central Michigan and WKU put on just a spectacular game. Who would have known that the game would be mentioned as one of the top 25 games in 2014 by Sports Illustrated, and that that final play, would be referenced as the top bowl play of the 2014 bowl season. So at Popeyes, I will tell you, we couldn't be prouder of the work and the outcome that came forth. It was also special because we had the opportunity to truly forge a great partnership with all the folks here that are part of the Bahamas Bowl, with the Ministry of Tourism, with the Atlantis, and all the various partners that were involved. And it was also special for us because we also had an opportunity to share and sample some of our delicious food with a number of folks from the Bahamas, not only here at the Atlantis, but obviously at the game where we did introduce one of our newest product innovations. I will tell you, it's a magical place here. It's a very special place, and because of that, you have my commitment that we are going to bring even more people this coming December to the islands to truly experience what we all experienced last year. So today I'm not only excited about the opportunity to announce that we have extended our title partnership with the Bahamas Bowl and with ESPN, but I'm also thrilled to announce that we have aligned with a local partner to do a multi-unit, multi-year development project here in the islands. We are currently scheduled to open up our first Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen this October or November here in Nassau, with the agreement to open multiple units over the course of the next couple of years. So we're truly excited about that. So that said, now that the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl has partnered with ESPN, we're convinced that you ain't seen nothing, that it's going to be even a truer or more special event than it was last time. And truly, on behalf of the Popeyes family and the Popeyes employees worldwide, we look forward to truly sharing what we have to offer with the island of the Bahamas, and look forward to just another wonderful event come December 24th, 2015. Thank you.
Thanks, Hector. A game like this takes two conference partners. Britain, with his group from Conference USA, brought WKU, Western Kentucky, to the Islands. And the next person to speak brought Central Michigan University down here, and they're part of the game once again. Our matchup will be Conference USA versus the MAC, and representing the Mid-American Conference is their commissioner, Dr. John Steinbrecher. John?
Thank you, Chris, and good afternoon. You know, it was roughly 2 years ago that Britton and I and Lee Miller were down here kind of on our first trip with this dream of, can we get a football game to go down here? And with lots of meetings with our friends in the government, with the business partners, the vision was formed. And we saw it come to fruition last December, and didn't anticipate a game ending on a play that it did, but it's not often that one gets to create something like that. And I'm very appreciative of the leadership role Conference USA took, particularly in the early stages and some of the financial underpinning of it. But it speaks to the event itself that we are able to attract ESPN to come in and take over management of it. And it should give great confidence it gives great confidence to our membership. I hope it does to everyone in this community about what we think of the event. This is not a one-off event for us. This is something we anticipate being at year after year after year, and making sure we continue to grow it as we build those relationships. Very appreciative of ESPN, of Popeyes, of Coca-Cola, of the Atlantis, the Bahamian government, and certainly the people of this community for how they have embraced this event. And Hector said it right. You ain't seen nothing yet. There's bigger and better things to come.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it. And now we will hear from our friends in the Bahamian government, the Ministries of Tourism and Youth, Sports, and Culture. And first, we'd like to welcome Honorable Dr. Danny Johnson on behalf of the Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture to talk about the impact of the game.
Very good. Once again, we'd like to congratulate everyone here today, all of the partners involved, all of your support staff. I do see our Federation president here. I didn't see you earlier. It's a wonderful thing that we have been able to do. Bahamians are very fond of football, both American and European football, worldwide football. We have a love affair with the Miami Dolphins for many, many years and many, many reasons. Okay? Having a bowl game here was a dream come true, not just for your organizations, but also for numerous fans that live in and around this country. We want to let everyone know of our profound esteem and fondest regards for the way you have encountered this country, your appreciation for what it represents, and the way you've reached out to our social partners, Ranfully Home, the federations, to the ministries, to the people, to the kids in and around the Bahamas. On behalf of the government and on behalf of the people, we wish to congratulate you, your organizations. We are very proud of the deal struck with ESPN, who we know very, very well. We are extremely proud of the partnership and sponsorship of Popeyes that has been in the Bahamas before, and we really welcome you back. We also wish to congratulate the two commissioners. It is not, an ordinary thing in a developing country like ours to find two commissioners of this level of athletic sport endeavor anywhere in the world, sitting at the negotiating table trying to get stuff done. And so to Britton and to John, our real congratulations and thanks go out to you all for being the founding members of getting this thing done. Also have to thank Lee Miller, who is a tiger in her own right. I'm not sure what team that's from. I guess that's LSUA. But she has been in the Bahamas, has shown her tenacity and drive and her capacity to get things done in an offshore jurisdiction, which is not always easy. Also to Richard Giannini, who has been by her side from the first day of this. I want people to know that several years ago, it just didn't happen. Several years ago, We had talks with the NCAA, president of the NCAA as well. We were at the Final Four. I think that was in Dallas, Texas. And it is not easy to accomplish what you all have accomplished. And us as the Bahamas, we are appreciative, and it's not lost on us how important it is that they would give this privilege to a small country like ours. This is rare. So we're very pleased to partner, as you said, with the best in the business. We also want to let you know that this year when you arrive, we've also partnered with the best in the business, and our facilities and content management firm at the NSA is also partnered with AEG, the Worldwide Anschutz Entertainment Group, which is the largest content and facility provider on the planet. We want you to know that we are driving our Sports in Paradise brand very aggressively, like you would imagine. We've also seen the PGA and the LPGA now take serious interest in the Bahamas. Later this year, you'll see the Tiger Woods World Golf Challenge. Of course, we have the NBA camp with the Heat that we would like to see return. You'll see also one of the basketball tournaments. We now have the Summer of Thunder, and we have NCAA, your baby, I should say, which is their Battle for Atlantis. Earlier this summer, you would have seen another award-winning sporting event, which is the IAAF World Relays, hosted in the Bahamas, an inaugural event that started here in the Bahamas, and we're going to have it again in 2017. You saw the fastest men in the world, men and women in the world, on the fastest track in the world. We've had 5 world records in 2 years on that track. And so you're also coming to an extremely well-versed athletic country. We have more gold medals at World Championships and Olympics, boxing, sailing, cycling, you name it, per capita than any other country on the planet. So you're really in the right place, I think, at the right time. And we really look forward to seeing what else is going to happen. So I guess this year it'll go down to half a point in half a second. But it was a fantastic, thrilling end. I know you're nominated for an award perhaps later this summer, and we really wish you well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Appreciate it. Now from our friends at the Ministry of Tourism, Mr. Tommy Thompson. Tommy?
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Ministry of Tourism, we are absolutely delighted with the partnership with ESPN and Popeyes. I think this is the second year for the bowl, and to get to where we are in such a short time, it's absolutely been astounding. We're delighted that the Bahamas has been chosen for this prestigious event, and it's part of the strategy that we have in sports tourism to ensure that we get great events coming to the islands of the Bahamas, and we're partnering with great brands. I just have to correct the minister, though. Not everybody is a Dolphin fan. You were in Dallas, Texas. You should have made the conversion then. But we had a really good we had a really good meeting this morning, discussing elements of the bowl, dissecting last year and seeing how we move forward to make it even better. And some of the areas that we have to look at is how do we improve the visitor attendance, how do we work closer with the tour operators, the cruise lines, in order to get more visitors into the game. Besides that, I think the publicity that the Bahamas got internationally through ESPN being the top play, that's been great, and we want to build on that. We can use that as a hook to attract visitors to come to the islands of the Bahamas for the game. We look forward to the partnership, increasing it and seeing how we can do even better to make it an even better bowl game in the Bahamas. Thank you.
Thank you, Tommy. To close the press conference, we're going to talk a little bit about one of the core mission of the game and the event is to impact the youth of the Bahamas through college football and through the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. And we were able to do that last year, not only with a youth clinic that was held near the stadium, but also a visit to the Ranfurly home. And there's some great stories that came out of that and some great impact. And to speak on that impact, I'll turn it back over to Britton Banowski.
Okay, thank you. So one of the things that's really neat about these big events is you have an opportunity to leverage them for the good of the community. And so we were very blessed last year to be able to partner with folks at the Ranfurly Home. And I know Alex and Alexandra and your team are here, and so you do brilliant work and serve the needs of some young men and women that absolutely are in need. So we very much appreciate that and have enjoyed being able to try to help you as you make a difference in the lives of so many folks. And then we also, as was mentioned, put on a youth clinic last year, and it was a joy to see the young men and women here in the Bahamas throw the football around and learn to tackle, and most of all, they just had a great time interacting with the student athletes from the two teams and the cheerleaders and the mascots, and it was a wonderful Christmassy feel, and we had Santa Claus out there, and so it was just a tremendous, for anyone that was there, they know it was a tremendous event. And so those are the kinds of things that we enjoy doing. They make all the rest of it worthwhile. And so we're going to continue doing those things. We're looking at starting, as we were talking earlier today, a youth football league on 4 islands, and that's kind of a big undertaking, but we're not afraid of big undertakings. So we'll try and make that work and have a big championship game of 10-year-olds next year that's on the week of the bowl game, and we'll invite you all out, and then knock on wood, it'll be a great start to a youth football program here that's hopefully sustainable for the long run. So with that, Chris, I'll just kick it back to you, or do you want to do something ceremonial?
And what we have here is, I'd like to ask our friends from Ranfurly to come up to the stage. Last year, as Britton indicated, there was a donation from the bowl to the Ranfurly homes, and we want to, once again, recognize Alex and his people and the folks there for the fine work that they do and for what we're luckily able to do for them.
Thank you very much, Britt, and to all the partners of this first Bahamas Popeyes Bowl. We want to say a sincere thank you to you for your kindness and generosity to the family at Ranfurly Home. Your social conscience and your outreach to us was vital, is vital, and we look forward to an ongoing relationship with you for the future. The need is great, and we just look forward to more and better things from our partnership with you. Thank you very much.
And with that, the formal part of our press conference is closed, but if anyone has any questions for the group up here, we certainly will take them here for a few moments. John?
I wouldn't rule anything out. It's something that we're going to have a little debriefing after this press conference and go over some things, and we'll put that on the agenda and get a sense on the opportunity. Well, as a company, we have a great commitment to college football. Obviously, we're the rights holders for the playoff. We've built an incredible industry as a rights holder from a television standpoint. So the natural extension for us was on the event business, both in the postseason with the 13 bowls, as well as on the preseason with the 3 events we do. College football is second only to the NFL, and it continues to grow. For us, I think it was a combination of factors. We work with the conferences that are under contract here. We've been partners with them in a variety of our other bowl games, so we have a great comfort zone. We know them well. We work exceptionally well together. I'd be less than candid if I told you that the Bahamas as a destination is arguably one of the greatest opportunities for young people to attend. So I think it was a combination of all of the things coming together that interested us in pursuing the opportunity once we sat down and had some discussions.
And what efforts do you think the group will have to make to further attract Bahamian fans? I know Mr. Thompson mentioned, attracting visitors to the game. What about attracting good locals to NCAA football?
Well, we had a great session this morning that's been referenced by many of the speakers here, and we met as a collective team. All of the key stakeholders were in a room for 2 hours and came out of it with some incredibly positive suggestions. And I think what you're going to see now is all of those suggestions beginning to take a focus and coming up with a basic marketing outreach plan. That includes everything from educational seminars in terms of better understanding to certain segments in terms of what the American football is, to reaching out to all the different associations. I had no idea that flag football was as big as it was till we had the session this morning. So I think what you'll see is a lot of positives that come out of this morning's session put into a comprehensive target marketing plan, and we'll continue great outreach. So we're excited about building upon it.
Yeah, I would add to that year one was about getting the game launched, executing a game, executing it well, doing it technically well. But we knew it was going to be challenging to market locally because there was no brand recognition, and people just didn't know. And so we tried to do as many things as we could, but we learned so much from that. And the good news is the venue is a manageable size. And so I do believe, if not this next year, by the third year of this event, it's going to be a high demand event locally, and people are going to rearrange their schedules on Christmas Eve to carve out 3 hours for the event, because it's going to be one of the really cool things to do on this island. Okay, I'll go first, and then John can go next. So we, by design, did not tie up our champion because a lot of times it meant geographic disconfiguration when you move a team to a champion bowl that really is outside the geography of that game. And so we are going to stay flexible all through the season, and we're going to be identifying teams probably middle of the season that we think would be good candidates to be here. It's logistically challenging. Players have to have passports. Teams have to be able to move to an international venue. So you almost have to identify teams earlier than the end of the season. If you wait till the end of the season, it's too late. But it'll be a process we'll have each year, and we're going to not send the same team down here each year. We think it's very similar to the way we do it in Hawaii. We think this is a rare opportunity for young men to experience something that they might not be able to experience at any time in their life. So you'll see probably a different Conference USA team here each year. And I know from their perspective, having heard from them, it's something that'll be cherished, and it's something they really hope happens. They'll come into the season hoping that no matter what happens, if they're not in the Sugar Bowl or the Peach Bowl, that they find their way down here, because it's just such a wonderful experience.
A very similar response as Britain has with the exception of one bowl in which we flip selection orders. We have one bowl that alternates between a number 1 and number 2 selection, and that does not mean they have to take the champion. All of our other bowl tie-ins we don't specify, so that we can work with our partner conferences and the bowl organization to put together the best matchup. See if there's a compelling story that makes sense to bring folks here. Much like Britain, with all of our bowls, we try not to repeat our teams at the same place if we can avoid it, although Central Michigan has noted they'd be more than welcome to come back. And there is something special and exciting about this venue, particularly for those of us coming from the northern part of the hemisphere. If you saw Central Michigan did a marvelous job last year. Go on YouTube and put in Central Michigan Bahamas Bowl announcement. And it was a video that went viral for how they announced it to their kids and the reaction from the young men and young women who were part of that organization. And I think you'll continue to see that kind of excitement from our folks year in, year out.
Anything else? Thank you very much for attending, and we'll open up for one-on-ones here for a brief time after the press conference. Thank you.